Today I'm sharing a recipe for a lemon arugula whole grain tart. It can be served any time of day, breakfast, brunch, lunch, or dinner, and it's even great to just take a slice on the go with you because it has everything you need in it, your protein, your greens, and your whole grains. Hi sweet friends, I'm Mary and welcome to Mary's Nest. I'm a former New York City girl, now living the simple life with my sweet husband here in the Texas Hill Country. And this channel is all about cooking from scratch, living naturally, and creating a cozy home with charming thrift store finds. So if you're like me and you want to live the simple life, subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to click on the little notification bell below. That'll let you know every time I upload a new video. This is a delicious tart and it's easy to make, and as I said, you can eat this any time of day. It's good hot, warm, or at room temperature. Now what you're going to want to start with is a partially baked whole grain crust, and I've got a video for this and I'll link to it in the iCards, and I'll also put it in the description below where I show you how to make this whole grain pie crust so that it'll come out light and flaky, and I also show you how to pre-bake it partially as well as fully bake it depending on what type of recipe you'd be using it for. So be sure to check that out. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to take our par-baked crust here and we're going to use 2 cups of Gruyere cheese. Now if you can't find Gruyere cheese at your grocery store, don't worry. You can even use cheese that's simply marked Swiss cheese. But what you want is to make sure that it's coarsely grated like this. And then the next ingredient that you're going to need is 4 cups of arugula. And what this has been done to it, I've just rinsed it, I've sauteed it quickly with just the water that was left on it, just no oil, nothing in the pan, just saute it quickly in the water that you rinse it, that it's cling to after you rinsed it, and then let it cool, squeeze out as much excess water as you can, and then just chop it up. And 4 cups of arugula, if you're just buying it where you're buying it from a bin and you're putting it in a bag, it's going to weigh about 5 or 6 ounces. And if you buy it in one of those plastic clamshells, just look for the size. That's about 5 or 6 ounces. And that'll be equal to about 4 packed cups of arugula. The next thing you're going to need is 1½ cups of heavy cream. It may be labeled whipping cream at the grocery store, but you want heavy cream. You're going to need 3 eggs. These are large eggs. You're going to need the zest of 1 lemon. And then in here, I've got a teaspoon of salt, a ½ teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, and a 1/4 teaspoon, it's kind of mixing together now, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Now, if you don't like nutmeg, don't worry, I'm not usually a fan of it in baked goods, but I like to add a little to whenever I make a dish like this with arugula or cream spinach or something like that. A little bit of nutmeg, you won't taste it, but it does something to just really help bring out the flavor of the greens. Now the first thing you're going to do is just take your 2 cups of grated Gruyere or Swiss cheese, whatever you have, and you're going to sprinkle it all on the bottom of the crust. Let me move this out of the way so you can see exactly what I'm doing. We're just going to put this cheese beautifully on the beautiful grated cheese on the bottom of this crust. Now once you get the cheese all spread in your tart shell, the next thing you're going to do is take your arugula that's been sauteed and all chopped up and sprinkle that right on top of the cheese. Now, if you can't find arugula, you can definitely substitute another green, like spinach would certainly work. But if you can find an unusual type of green, it's a nice way to introduce different greens to your family and also benefit from the different vitamins that different greens offer. Because every green, certainly they have some things in common, but each one has a little something special to offer. So this is a nice way to introduce your family to arugula. The next thing we're going to do is just mix all the remaining ingredients together. It couldn't be easier. So in goes the cream, and then we'll put in our lemon zest, get every little bit of goodness. And then we've got our salt, our pepper, and our nutmeg. And then we'll just break in our eggs. 1, 2, 3. And now we're just going to whisk this all up until it's thoroughly mixed. And now I'm just going to pour the egg and cream mixture all around the tart. So I've got the egg and cream mixture all added in. I've just put it on a baking sheet just to make it easier for me to transfer it to the oven. But certainly if you have a steadier hand than me, you can just put it right in onto your rack. And you just want to put it in the middle rack of your oven into a preheated 350-degree Fahrenheit oven. And it's going to cook for about 30 minutes. I'll keep my eye on it. You want it to develop a nice bubbly and golden top. Well, I just took it out of the oven and it looks wonderful. I left it in for about 35 minutes. It's got a nice golden top and I can't wait to let it cool, and we'll slice it and take a taste. Well, I took it out of the tart pan, put it on this beautiful cake stand. Look at this crust. You would never know that's whole grain. Be sure to watch that video where I show you how to make the whole grain pie crust, because I've got a few little tips and tricks to add to the flour to make sure that it comes out flaky and light tasting. So I'll link to that. But this just looks heavenly, and I'm ready to take a slice in and we'll take a taste. Oh, this just looks beautiful. Eggy and cheesy. Oh, and look at this, the lovely, lovely crust. I'm gonna see if I can show this to you. Look, I don't know if, oh, just beautiful. You have to give this a try. It's so light, so fluffy, and the pie crust, I'm going to take some off here on the end. I think you can see it better. I mean, you just look at how flaky that is. It's getting away from me. Look at, that's so flaky. You'd never know that was whole grain. I highly recommend making this. It's just delicious. For more from scratch recipes, be sure to subscribe to my channel below, and then click on this video over here where I show you how to make this whole grain pie crust. And I'll see you over there in my Texas Hill Country kitchen. Love and God bless.